Good afternoon. This is the market update for buy sell short for Thursday, January the 9th. It has just been a phenomenal month so far for the service. Home run plays left and right. It would take me 20 minutes in the video just to go over all the plays. And, we're just going to go over the major indices really quick because at the moment, it really does not matter what the large cap stocks do because there is a buzz. There is a boatload of speculative money just flooding into the small caps market, and that is where we dominate. But to start off, we're going to look at the Dow Transports. This really is the only index we really care about. Gives us an accurate reflection of the economy, and over the last 3 days, despite the noise that we've been seeing in the Dow Transports have been telling us that all is okay in this market. And we're actually about to break a new all-time high on the Dow Transports. We got that bounce off the 50 level on RSI. We've got a nice little uptick on stochastics, and this chart just looks ready to rock and roll compared to what we're seeing in the Dow, which has been chopping back and forth over the last week. But my view of this, based on the strength that we're seeing in the Dow Transports, is that, if we don't see it happen tomorrow, it'll probably happen next week where we start to see the small cap stocks play catch up in a big way. And the break trigger on that's going to be 16,600. The other index we pay really close attention to is, of course, the Russell Small Cap Index. And you can see the Russell, which has followed the Dow Transports throughout this the last year, 2013, has gone into a nice little sideways pattern over the last 2 weeks. We've got a nice little rectangle formation here. And given the move that we've seen in the Dow Transports already, and, we're seeing crazy action in small cap stocks. We're just not seeing it reflected in the larger cap, small cap stocks, for lack of a better word. That looks like it's going to change within the next few days. And when everyone starts to run to the same side of the boat, off to the races we go. 15-minute chart, we've got this little triangle here. We've got the jobs report tomorrow, but I'm going to argue that who cares what the number is? The taper has already happened. The Fed has done their first taper. They're going to wait a couple of reports, a few months, to see what they do next. They are not going to be in a hurry to taper again. So I laugh when I see that talk about the market worry about the jobs report, blah, blah, blah. Ignore it. It's nothing but a bunch of noise. And as I mentioned in the chat room today, the Dow was down, 80 points something at one stage this morning, but the Dow Transports were up 40. That told us to ignore the nonsense going on the Dow and trade stocks. And look, it ended up being a fantastic day. But anyway, let us jump into some stock plays. CRDC, kaboom! I love it when we do our research and it comes to fruition within a day or two. You recall the trading alert I did on this 2 days ago. We were buyers 106 to 110. The reason being, based on my research, these guys were set to get 510K approval for their heart surgery tool based on the filing that they did in August. The average time frame, as I said, was about 135 days, which meant that news was due this week. And boom, this morning, pre-market FDA approval. This stock actually hit $1.97 in pre-market, if you can believe that, for a potential 80% gain in 2 days. Even if you just placed your sells at our sell targets, we hit $1.70 on that puppy, even onto the open when I sent out the alert to make sure to book some gains. So just a fantastic 2-day home run play on this stock. ACST. This stock was actually trading at $1.80 in pre-market. Pays to get up early these days. This was another one of our January popper plays. We've actually gotten 2 runs out of this. Was our first January popper play alert back in December at $1.20. Hit our first target of $1.40 the next day. Retraced back, consolidated. We jumped back into it. We added again to this position yesterday at $1.28, $1.29, and boom, it went this morning. Now, a lesson and something I talk about all the time in the chat room, especially for you new traders that are watching these videos, you've got to control your greed. When we entered these trades, we had targets in mind. Our target was the 50-day moving average and then 160 on this one. Automatically, whenever I see my stocks spike in pre-market action, I am a seller. I rarely, if ever, buy stocks in pre-market. I am always selling my stocks for a profit. That is a great rule of thumb to have. Half, two-thirds, three-quarter gains on a big spike. If it continues to run, you still have a partial position to profit on that. If it falls back, you've already booked a chunk of gains, and you are happy as a lamb. Next stock, DCTH. In case you didn't notice, there was some madness out there today in biotech land. ICPT went up $220 per share. Market cap went up $3 billion a share today on their liver drug trials. And this just lit up some of the other liver drug stocks. CNAT, look at this one. This one went up 100%. But our play on that, which is one of our January popper plays, is DCTH. This is a stock that we've been waiting for big volume for the breakout on it. They've got a phase 2 cancer drug out there. Got a lot of cash. Last time this stock got big volume, it went up 100% in 2 days. Looks really, really good for a continuation move. We are seeing biotech stocks blow up left and right. Target is the 200-day moving average now, 51 cents. 40 cents was the old target. Let's raise it up there with this biotech mania we are seeing out there. This chart looks great. Great downtrend break. We've got RSI up through 50. First time since the sell-off back in October. Strong ADX. Money flow has gone positive. Unbounced volume has gone vertical. Big buys are coming into this stock, and we should see this one run for a few days. Lots of upside action on this one to come. RGDX, another January popper play. First target hit today, 137, the 50-day moving average. This is also a big breakout on this stock. Secondary target is the 200-day moving average at 166. As I've said, this is one of my favorite plays. ACST was the other one, and it's blown up. This is another favorite play of mine. Ridiculous sell-off on this one. Great play on Obamacare. They've been signing up health plans left and right over the last couple of months. This one could really explode on the next breakthrough at $1.40 over the next couple of days. RNN. This is 2-year chart. This was another one of our plays from a couple of weeks ago at 41 to 43 cents. Hit 76 cents intraday today. Volume was massive, 20 million shares volume. This kind of volume on these kind of stocks, especially when they get up into this zone, tend to see continuation for a few days. So this one could see 81 and then up to $1 over the next couple of days. Couple of rule of 2 plays. DRRX, big break on this one today. And again, we've got to go back to a 2+ year chart here. You can see that big break at $1.90. Target is $2.20 on the $2 break that we should see tomorrow. Similar situation on GTXI. Big breakout from a consolidation at $2. We should also see this one rock and roll tomorrow. Indicators are all systems go for a continuation move higher on this one. Now, we've got a couple of laggard biotech stocks still. PBMD, we jumped into this one a couple of days ago. We got a spike to our first target, retraced back, but, cancer biotechs are on fire. Positive MACD cross today. Stochastics breaking up through 50. RSI up through 50. Triangle breakout. Probably you will really see them start to chase this one at $1.30. But, this one is a cancer biotech with $30 million in cash and $40 million market cap. And the market caps we're seeing assigned to some of these biotech stocks that are blowing up, this stock could be cheap at $2. Let's just put it like that. Biotech stocks are hot, and what that tells us is speculative money is flooding into small caps, and there's only a handful of these biotech stocks left that have not blown up. Look what our CLZS did yesterday. We were buying this one on Friday at $1.13. $2 yesterday. 90% winner for us in 2 days. Bios are the place to be. Very few of them left for a run. You've got more and more traders hunting for fewer and fewer stocks, which is why you're starting to see bigger and bigger moves in these biotech stocks. Another one, CVM, another cancer biotech stock with a ridiculously cheap value. Always had. I mean, it had a reverse split. Its float got even smaller. They did a really small financing back in December, 5 million shares, which is nada for some of these stocks that can pump out 30, 40 million shares. 5 million financing, 50-day moving average at 74 cents, lights them. And again, the right press release from this stock, and you could see it at $1 plus. Chart looks great. Last but not least, iBio. What's it going to take for this one to move? Probably a break through 40. Big volume day through 40. It's as bottomed as they come when you're looking at biotech stocks. So this is another nicely set up play for us. You know, there's other stocks I could go into. The video is getting kind of long. Come into the chat room. We are just hitting them out of the ballpark left and right. We've got some coiled plays going into tomorrow and into next week. Looks really, really good. Have an awesome night, guys, and see you in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.